Hey, good morning, it's Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Let's talk about rental restrictions. I've done a couple of blogs over the years on rental restrictions. I'm going to target this one. I'm hoping a few Strata board members in a couple of buildings in West Richmond here are maybe watching my blog here. Because rental restrictions, if you've got a heavy duty rental restriction, either no rentals or a very low cap, like 5%, 10%, you should know that you're leaving an awful lot of money on the table with your selling prices in your complex there. And there's pros and cons to it. The old argument with, oh, we want rental restrictions, we only want owners in there. Because owners treat the complex much better than renters. And renters, there's a lot of bad renters out there. They're tough on the common area. They're always moving in and out, and they depreciate the buildings much quicker. Which, in my experience, I just don't see it. Now, mind you, there are some buildings in downtown Vancouver that I think are probably running 70-75% tenant occupied. That kind of ratio might be a bit too high because there is an endless stream of moving every month. But there's a happy medium there. I think most buildings in downtown Vancouver don't have a rental restriction, most of the condos downtown. And I would say they range from maybe 20% tenanted, maybe up to 40 or 50. That's just kind of where it ends up balancing out. And in those cases, I think it works out fine, because gone are the days when you're paying $500 a month for a 2-bedroom unit. Most people, if you're in a decent building downtown Vancouver now, you're paying $1,700 to $2,000 for a 1-bedroom, $2,500 to $2,800 for a 2-bedroom. So these aren't minimum wage type renters. They're pretty upstanding citizens. They've got good jobs to be able to afford that kind of rent. So in my experience, they're no tougher on the equipment than owner-occupiers are. Now, there's a number of buildings in Richmond, older buildings in West Richmond, that either have no rentals allowed at all, or they've got it at a very low maximum rental allowance. I've got a complex that I do a fair bit of work in that's got 420 units, and they allow a maximum of 5%. So they allow about 25 out of the 420 to be rented. Incredibly low. And it shows in the selling prices. I get a call. I usually have 1 or 2 listings in this complex at any given time. Every week I get a phone call from an investor asking if he can buy the unit and rent it out, and I have to tell him no. The rental limit is capped at 5%, and there's a waiting list. And, it's the same old thing. They voted on it a number of times over the years at the AGM to just increase it maybe another 5% to 10%, which would be still ultra low, and open up another 20 or 25 rentals. And I can tell you, if they did, I'd be able to, there's probably 6 listings in the complex now. I could sell all 6 in a couple of weeks to investors that would want to buy it, and it's a pretty decent, they can get a good price on it and get a decent cap rate on it. So it would be like a shot of adrenaline into some of these complexes if you will open it up a little bit more to someone who might want to rent it. It's also awfully nice to have that backup plan where you buy a unit, you have no intention of renting it out, but 5 years down the road, you're living in it, you get a job transfer in Toronto and want to move to Toronto. The market is down, prices are depressed. Rather than sell it and take a huge loss, it sure would be nice if you could rent it out for a couple of years, let the market recover, and then sell it when the market's better. So for that reason, when I'm working with buyers, I usually steer them away from buildings that have either no rentals or heavy rental restrictions. I just don't think it's worth it. I would rather go into a building where you can rent it, or even if you don't have the intention to do that, it's as a backup plan just in case. You could always rent it out later on. So if you've got rental restrictions, at least no rentals or a heavy cap, a very low 5% or 10%, you sure are leaving an awful lot of money on the table. And I think by bumping that cap rate up, allowing more rentals, you'll sure notice a big difference to your prices in a lot of cases. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I got houses to sell. I'll see you next time.